we're back. How's everyone doing? This is Up Next Podcast. This is your host, Jeezy, a.k.a. Jesse, a.k.a. whatever the fuck you want to call me. And we have a very special episode here out in Salem, Oregon. And we're here to talk to our good friend, Servando. And we have our featured guest as well, Mr. Danny and Mr. Jermain. So I'm going to introduce you to Servando. Go ahead and say hi to the audience.
Hey, what's going on? Most of y'all know me as the captain. Most of y'all know me as Junior. Most of y'all don't really know me. But I guess you're going to get to know me on this podcast. And I got my boys up here for a very special weekend, the wedding. I'm getting married tomorrow. They flew all the way out here.
What day is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow's August 28th, 2022. So, yeah, we are in Salem, Oregon. They did travel a long ways. And here comes Jermain. What's up, bro?
What's up, everybody? This is Jermain. This is my first time on the podcast. Come in live from freaking Salem, Oregon. Out here for my boy's wedding. Just right here, chopping it up, having a few beers with my boys. We're just going to shoot the shit and just catch up. Let me pass the mic to Big Dan.
What's going on, man? Dan the Man here in the house again. And this is time for round 2 for me. I heard a lot of requests, and people want me as a guest. And bitty body, bitty boo. Here I am.
Yeah, so we're here on a very special podcast. Very first time trying to use my mobile rig with the laptop. And yeah, we're just going to swap around some stories, share our experiences from our last night going out and kind of mingling with the locals. And then just kind of getting to know our guest over here, Mr. Servando, the groom himself. And then just kind of talk about, what are you looking forward to, the big day and the wedding and family and friends. And what are your feelings right now?
Well, my feelings right now is like I'm kind of a little on the low side. I mean, fuck, we drank yesterday. We drank last night,
What did we do last night?
Trying to recover. We went to, we had our bachelor. We ended up eating at Morton's. That's in Portland, Oregon. Bomb Steakhouse. Then we ended up going to Dixie's Tavern, which it was a little cracking, Drinks were good. The vibe was good. You guys were able to see Portland, Oregon, But I'm very excited for my wedding tomorrow. I'm actually going to be able to get married. The last, straw, I'm actually committing to one person and, combining myself with the love of my life. And it's very exciting. It's very exciting having family and having a big old audience just on us, all eyes on us, like Tupac,
Yeah, man. So we're all looking forward to it, and we can't wait to be all, part of that day of yours because it is very special. I can tell you guys are like very much in love because just the way, the little words you guys are always constantly reaffirming yourselves is I love you and I love you too, and that just shows that's a strong bond, and you guys are carrying it very well. So what do you guys, like Danny and Jermain, let me ask you, what do you guys think of Oregon so far, and how's your guys' experience?
Dude, it's super cool being out here in Oregon, and just being out here for the wedding. I'm gonna be the best man, so it's a great honor, to be out here and just to see different things. A year ago, we were in Minnesota, we saw Minnesota, we saw the people out there, and to come out here pretty much like a year later to Portland and see how the people in Portland live, see how just everything is, the buildings, the structures, it's freaking amazing, and I recommend, more people get out, travel, see the world, see different states, see different things, keep that open mind, because, you never know when it could be over, and dude, the world is beautiful. Like, I never thought I was going to come to Oregon. But look, I'm here right now, dude, and I see these pine trees. I see the green. I see the weather. I see the people. Like, it's beautiful, man. Like, just get out there, go out, see different things and experience it, and it's a whole different world out there. What do you think, Dan?
Well, first thing I saw coming down, what was it? I told Jermain it looks like a volcano. It looks like a volcano, but check this out, Jeezy. I just heard you in the background, Servando. You said it was. Mount St. Helens. We heard this shit last night. It was, who was that thing Lorenzo told us that there is
It's an active volcano.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, Three Sisters volcanoes. They're all around it, right? I saw it. They look big. It was like the clouds. It's coming out of the clouds. We're on top of the clouds, and it was a volcano. Funny shit. I found that last night. So, anyways, what do I think about this place? It's beautiful. It's, Cali is cactus and palm trees. Right here is nothing but pine trees and beavers.
Pine trees and beavers? Oh, pantries. I was like, glad pantry.
pine trees and beavers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard pantry.
No.
Something
But
already.
anyways, this place is cool, and I was also invited for this wedding as a groomsman. Both, Gigi and I, and of course the best man right here. But I thank you for that, Servando. What a fucking day we did yesterday, dude. We started off good with breakfast, saw the city for a while, and got our stuff. You know what I mean? Came back over here, did a lot of stuff with your family. Last night was pretty cool. There's stories to tell. Your bachelor, the fucking blow up doll. Yeah, there's a blow up doll involved. Brenda song. That's for another day, but Brenda song. Yeah, Brenda song's involved in this. Anyways, there was a fucking fireworks. There was all kinds of shit, bums, funny girls, funny people that we met and that we hate as well, because life's life. But yeah, awesome. And we had a great birria this morning. Thank you for that, and you for your wife as well. That was para la cruda. We had birria. Here we go, Gigi.
Yeah, we got to thank big props to your wife for cooking the birria. Tasted delicious. Nothing like a home cooked meal. I know we were all thinking like, what should we eat? Where should we go? But sometimes just a home cooked meal just hits the spot, right? So let's kind of maybe go backtrack a little bit, man. Let's get to know each other a little more. Let's talk about some childhood trauma. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not gonna go there. So we're just gonna go and just talk about the back in the days and how we all know each other. So Servando, how about you elaborate how we all know each other?
Started back in no, this started back in what? I've known most of you guys since Badger Springs.
20 plus years.
Yeah, 20 plus years. Got into Wonder Boys, and that's when I started. That's when I met Danny Boy. That's when I met you, Jeezy. I met Lyle. All the older homies, and but for the most part, I went to middle school with most of the Wonder Boys, and I ended up going to a different school. We ended up catching up a couple years, and started kicking it, and ended up getting into Wonder Boys, and we've been friends ever since. Yeah, I mean, even though we lost a couple of friends,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. To all our fallen wonders, but most of us are still here, going strong, and it's crazy because we all grew up. Different people are doing different things, and it's cool that we just all are able to be on social media, and see what we're doing with our lives and catching up. And I mean, I'm just excited for you guys to be here. You guys are in Oregon. You guys are like a different state away from your guys' home state, which is my home state, which I love Oregon. Don't get me wrong. There's no taxes up here, nothing like that. You know what I mean? So I love Oregon. You know what I mean? It ain't my home state.
We are envious of.
You know what I mean?
Texas. I was like, man, we're purchasing stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, just straight money.
Yeah, so I mean, it's different out here, and I tell a lot of people, it's different, and they don't seem to believe me. But until they get here, then bam, they're like, whoa, it's kind of weird, it's different, it's different than any other state. You go to Nevada, it's a little bit, it's not a little bit, it's hot out there. You go to Idaho, it's hot, You come up here, Idaho, yeah, it's hot, bro.
Hot in Idaho?
It's hot, and I'm just glad you guys are here. I haven't seen you guys since 2005, 17 years, and it's crazy. We just start hanging out, and we can just like when we left off,
Yeah, pick up where we left off.
Yeah, pick up where we left off. What do you think, Jermain?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I met Servando in Moreno Valley, 7th grade, Badger Springs Middle School. So I've known Servando for a good minute now. We've been homies since, He left, he went back to his school, but we caught back up in high school, and like he said, we all became wonders, and that's how I met Danny Boy through other friends at Moville High School. Same with Jeezy, his brother Lyle, all the old school homies. I grew up in Moville, I moved to Moville in late 80s, so I saw Moville when it was nothing, and then just little by little, it just kept getting bigger and kept meeting more people, and it's just awesome, to all these years later, like how Servando was saying, with social media, like people that moved away, people that you didn't see anymore, now you could see them, you could see what they're up to and what they're doing, and you catch up with them and still maintain those bonds, even though they're not right next to you like before, but that's what true friendship is, you just stay close to the people and show love, like they were still there. And talking about people, that aren't here no more, like rest in peace to to Miguel Beaver, rest in peace. Cosmo, rest in peace to Nate. Everybody, you know, it's we got to remember those people too. But it's awesome, man, to be catching up right here, you know, being on the podcast for the first time, you know, talking to everybody, you know. So this is pretty cool. I'm going to pass the mic to Dan.
Hey, guys. Well, Servando, I think I met you the end of 98, maybe the beginning of 99, somewhere around there, you know. You and Sage were like the last two of the final chapter, I think. That's how I consider you guys, you know. Because then all the people, you know, the temps and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, they were good. They were good.
To me, the true you and Sage, I always consider myself in that time, and to this day, you know, like the end of the final chapter, you know, because everybody else I don't count. And I mean, I love them for being there, you know, but it's just you guys, you know. And yeah, dude, you're fucking cool, dude. You're always fucking in a little scooter and shit, you know. Yeah.
Hey, walking, bro.
Yeah. I go meet up with you guys. You guys are all skating, fool, and there's one scooter. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways.
With Sam fucking walking by.
Sam was on a scooter too, bro.
But yeah, dude, great guy, dude. 17 years, I can't believe that it's been that long, dude. It's fucking crazy. 20 some years that we all know each other. That's amazing already, though. But I love you all, dude, and I'm grateful to be here, Servando.
Thank you.
You know, it's the shit. We're all having fun, you know, and next month will be a year since we went to visit Bobby. So it hasn't even been a year. We've been in 2 states in 1 year, if you do the math right, you know, right? And that's pretty cool. I want to keep doing this. Bean, you're probably next. So letting you know. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of our goal in life. Now that we're like at a mature age, we have the means and the knowledge and everything. We could just go wherever we want and, you know, not really be like tied down with anything. So, you know, us being able to go see friends from out of state kind of gives us that experience. It's you know, each little area that we visit, you know, you meet the local people, get to know them. You know, we have some interesting stories from obviously last night, which was kind of hella fun. You guys all have the little, you know, the vagrants and homeless people that were just running around. But on top of that, just the local people that were just kind of out there wilding out after a night of drinking, 2 a.m. Yeah, keep Orland weird. That's their mantra. And it's fun. I mean, like for me, like the experience yesterday, obviously, you know, just kind of going out there and just seeing it for the first time. It was like, you know, it was different because before it's you kind of look at it as kind of like, okay, maybe that's little parts of LA or, oh, that's kind of parts of Minnesota that we've already seen, but it's its own unique town. And we really enjoyed it, man. So I don't know. What do you think? I mean, what else are we looking forward to discovering out here while we're out here? What do you think, Servando?
Okay, so Danny Boy wants to do a lot of hiking. Hey,
A lot of hiking.
One's fine with me, dog. Put in the books. Yeah.
But the thing is, one hike could
Damage you.
It's put it like this: Silver Falls, one hike, it's gonna be like it's deep, bro. You know what I mean?
I done deep.
Not in Oregon though, bro. It's different out here. You know what I mean? I don't even think I got shoes for that, but you know we'll still go for the cruda after. That's what we need to do for the cruda. You know, for after the wedding. After the wedding though.
Find an alternative just in case we don't go really bad. You know, we need to find like an alternative of what to do. You know.
I mean, we gotta force ourselves, fool. You know what I mean? Like, bam, let's just go. You know what I mean? Bam. Bam. You know?
Bam.
Yeah, but
Besides the hike, I mean, what else is there to discover out here?
Yeah.
Like, is there a local hotspot? Is there a local bar, restaurant?
What do we need to see? What of Oregon? You know.
Yeah, or landmark.
what is it? I mean, Salem is the capital, you know, of Oregon, but
Okay, so what is the fun thing to do in Salem?
eat. Hey,
He ain't lying.
that's what y'all need to know about yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, y'all were tapping out when I was still tapping in, bro. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Keep going, man.
You know what I mean? Like I told y'all, you know what I mean? We eat tacos, you know, boom, and
Oh. And we do gotta check out that place, the Yard. You know, I know it's down the street from the Airbnb. I like they have different little food trailers. Yeah. Everyone bunched together. Yeah, so there's a variety of. I mean, he ain't lying when he says the cuisines. He ain't lying when he's talking about the food because, yeah, they got all kinds of shit out there going on right now. So Yeah, we're gonna probably test out the different kind of venues. So let's switch gears real quick. How about we do a little small recap from yesterday's little nighting out at the downtown. Let's talk about what was your experience like, Danny Boy, being out there, kind of getting to know the locals.
Actually, what I expected, and I'm glad about that. You know, because I thought I was gonna be wag. You know, when I'm from around here, but you know what? I told you, Jeezy, and I'll tell you, maybe I told Jermain, but 3 weeks ago, yesterday, I was partying in downtown Santa Ana, California, and it was fucking cracking. And I recommended it to you guys already this weekend. Like, we need to do that, it told me, dude, I'm gonna do the same thing in fucking Portland, because that was our plan. We arrived here, we party here, on that day. We did it all one day. What do I think about it? It was fucking fun. It was funny. You guys clown on me, we clown on you. It was all that good stuff. There's fucking violence. We try not to, but it comes. It's all good, man. It was fun. Girls and everything.
What did you think of the atmosphere and the vibe and the different music?
Servando did tell us from the beginning. He said earlier. The quota, the slogan, it's fucking keep fucking Portland weird. And that's exactly how it was. We didn't record a lot of it, but I regret. But the recording is saved in my brain right now. It's just the memory. It was good. It was fun. The food. We great choice of restaurant, Jermain. That shit was badass.
Top choice.
Yeah, I think everybody finished everything too. It was that good. Well, except for the one who did the top choice, but other than that, a blast, a good times. But I do think we should have jumped it to somewhere else. I didn't think we were gonna stay in one bar the whole night, but either way, it was worth it. It was worth it. Tonight. Exactly. Jermain, you got any thoughts about that?
Yeah, Portland is very different. Their motto is keep Portland weird, and fuck, they're doing their thing. It is freaking a different city. Last night was a blast, dude. We started off at Morton's, freaking had a nice steak dinner, got our grub on, had some lobster mac and cheese, and before that we walked like downtown Portland, checked out all the the little shops and all the different places. Dude, last night was a blast. I had fun. What was that, 3rd Street?
I believe so, 3rd Street.
3rd Street in downtown Portland. Saw these bars and clubs and just tons of people out there, people watching and just having drinks, taking shots, having fun, catching up with my boys. It was something that I was looking forward to, and coming here, I'm looking forward to tomorrow, to the wedding, give my speech, so I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie, but I think this right here is helping, doing the podcast right now, getting my voice out, speaking. You guys need to come out here. You guys need to come out and check out Portland, Oregon, Salem, all this area. It's beautiful, Like, I could totally see myself moving to a place like this, when I get older and I just want to relax. And even if you don't want to relax, there's all kinds of stuff to do out here too. So that's pretty dope, man. It's good to see different things. What you think of last night, Servando?
It was a lot different, I don't really go out to the clubs and stuff like that. So, do I? Last time I've been to a club was quite a long bit, but it's different than the Cali clubs, You see, like, more open people, more chill people, different type of music, and, everybody's just having a good time, and everybody's just chilling. But like I said, Portland, keep Portland weird. I told you guys that's what their motto is going to be, and that's what it ended up being, you know what I mean? Salem's about 40 minutes from Portland, so I don't go to Portland that much. But there's a lot of things to do out here in Salem. A lot of foods to eat, you could say. Eat, But like I said, we had some bomb-ass food yesterday at Morton's. The steak was just incredible. Steak was just good. The lobster, oh my goodness, was just to die for. It didn't have that seafood, that sea taste. It had that buttery taste where it was just bomb. You know what I mean? So, I was excited for that. I was able to dip it into the butter.
Yeah, man, it was definitely delicious. Good food. Quality time. I loved how we could just be in a little circle and just start laughing, telling jokes, doing all, the little camaraderie that we had going on here. You had a really cool cousin that we got to know, Lorenzo. Well, shout out to Lorenzo, by the way.
Yeah, right.
And shout out to nephew Alex for driving our drunk asses around.
Shout out Lorenzo and Alex.
Yeah, even though I don't think none of us really got too faded. I think we kept it in check, you know. Yeah, we kept things in check. So you know, there was other people.
Mature people, though.
There were the locals that was popped off. You know, obviously fights, girls, guys.
What about the guy that was all blacked out?
Yeah, the guy that pretended to be shot, even though he wasn't shot.
He was like on the ground.
Yeah, the guy was on the ground and he was like not shot, but he was like, I'm shot, and like, sir, you're not shot. Like the cop kept telling him that. So it's pretty funny, you know. Those are the type of people you run into, and then you get the fake frat guys that are out there being tough. So, you know, whatever. You know, everyone's out here trying to like have a good time for the most part, and we were having a good time. Burp, 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 burp. Switching gears, man. The married life. What do you think you have to look forward to? I know you guys have been together for a little while, so not a lot will change. But where do you see your guys' selves in the future? You know, like what are your thoughts on that?
The married life. Well, we're already living together, but like I said, this is gonna be like an official, where she takes my last name. Where actually I do. I'm able to say that's my wife, and it's actually gonna be that's my wife. I'm very excited for that. You know, I'm thinking it'll bring us closer, and I mean I can't love her anymore. I mean I love her already as is.
Facts.
You know, she's been with me through the thick and thin, through
Facts.
everything I've been through.
You being thick and thin.
You got jokes now.
I took that one from Danny Boy. That sounded like a Danny Boy joke. So
It did. No, but yeah, you know, like I said, you know, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to be a better partner as I become her husband, and I see myself buying house, you know, making a future with her and my kids, and just looking towards the future, you know.
talk about the kids. I mean, how many? Just for the audience.
Okay, so for you guys, I mean, 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, 6, 7 kids.
7. Count them.
7 kids. Okay, so we got 7 kids. The way it went down is she had 3 kids, I had 3 kids, and then we have 1 common kid together. We have the ages from 15 to 11-year-olds to 10-year-olds, an 8-year-old, and then a 3-year-old, which is gonna be 4 in April, which is my baby. So yeah, I mean it's a handful. It is a handful. It's being a blended family. It's hard, you know.
We're literally the Mexican Brady Bunch.
We are. That's what it is.
You know the little fucking faces on the faces.
We are, and you know, like I said, it's the way we met wasn't the best. You know what I mean? Like, but we met the way we met.
That's love. It's
Can't
unexpected.
change it. You can't change.
It's unexpected. So.
You can't. You know what I mean?
Plan love, bro.
You can't. It just comes out of left field. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm glad for that. You know, I love her so much. She's actually accepted my kids
That's her own, yeah.
as her own. You know, and that's on a different subject. It's not, bro. It's not. You know, it's hard. You know, it's like I have a package deal. You know, and she accepted me for that package. And you know, like I said, I'm glad for that. You know, and I'm just glad I want to make it to the future. You know, because I got some obstacles coming within days after I get married. You know, I got obstacles. You know.
That's true.
You know.
Again, you know, we're not here to poke and prod, but if you want to share, you are.
All right, so here's the thing. So I get married tomorrow, which is Sunday the 28th. I get checked into the hospital on the 31st for a procedure. I'm bleeding. My veins are bleeding in my brain, so I have a leakage. I have a procedure on the 31st, and then I'll have open brain surgery on the 1st, 4 days after I become a husband. And I will have to probably have some rehabilitation for life. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk, walk, or what I need to do to be able to get me back to where I'm at stably, you know. And like I said, this is why I've been telling you, live life to the fullest. You know, that's why right now I'm just planning the wedding. That's what I'm planning for. I'll worry about the surgery after, you know what I mean? Because life is not granted. You never even know what's gonna happen, because I wasn't even gonna have this surgery till like maybe a couple months. And we planned this wedding real quick within 4 months. We planned this wedding, and it just hit us. That's why I said God's timing. So God knows everything, you know. You know, what my mom says, you know, primeramente Dios, you know, God first. It's different, you know, because one day you're gonna be boom celebrating life, and you're gonna be going through something else the day after. That's why I said life's like a roller coaster, it goes up and down. You know what I mean? But I'm a fighter. I'm gonna keep fighting. You know, ain't nothing gonna stop me. Can't nobody hold me down. You know, I ain't trying to be too puffy or nothing, but yeah, you know, I just broke it down to you guys when you guys actually came. Yeah. It's very hard for me to talk about it, just because I don't want no sympathy. I don't want nothing like that at all. Just like I said, I wanted you guys to come, have a good time, and you know. But I knew I had to break it down to you guys. Hey, this is what's going on, and you know, keep me in y'all prayers. And you know, like I said, I'm not gonna stop here. I'm not gonna stop. This isn't my final say. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna get out of this real quick, and that way I can live a long, strong life. Oh yeah. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. We all got you in our prayers. You're a fighter. You got a strong heart, and you're gonna come out on the other side. You know, and I appreciate you sharing that. That's why we're here for you, man. I mean, we were unaware of this. You know, you kind of dropped this on us on the first day. We're still sipping our coffee, and you know, we just didn't know how to react. So if we said nothing, it's because we were still like processing it ourselves. You know, I was like, oh man, dude, like my homie is going for open brain surgery, and that's kind of hard to kind of like just grasp all at once. And you're right, dude. You know, life is unexpected. You know, we have these opportunities, and we're in a good place in life right now where we can come out and visit you, and you know, we want to show you a good time. But you know, obviously, you're showing us a good time by showing us your town, and you know, we want to just kind of be here to support you. You know, support your life, support, you know, your day, because you know this is a big step, and yeah, we're all just loving it, man. So again, the audience is just wanting to hear our stories, and you know, we have the funny stories of last night, you know, and then we have our serious moments of like, you know, what we go through in life, and we're all wanting to connect and you know, just sharing it. So Danny, if you have anything to add, I mean. Yeah. Come here. Let me hand you the mic.
And you know what, Servando, you did tell us this little story, and no sympathy, like you said. You know, your wishes is my wishes, you know. But like, all I'm saying is everything's gonna be all okay, and just have positive thoughts. Think about us. Think about your family. Think about how fun your wedding's gonna be, you know, and the future. Think about what's gonna be like in the next fucking 40-something years for you or more. You know what I mean? Because I think we're all going to live a long life. You know what I mean? So, and you're a cool dude, man. Again, this is badass. I love it. I'm still laughing. This is only day 2. This is only day 2. You know, and this is just FYI, podcast part 1.
Yeah, we are going to do podcast part 1, which is this right now. And we're going to do podcast part 2 after we all get back from the wedding. So we're probably going to mash them up together and, you know, try to get some insight on our experiences that we had from the wedding and what it's like. And we'll share a little, you know, jokes and stuff that like how we always do. Jermain, anything to add to that?
No. Of course, man. Like I know you're going through your stuff, Servando. Like, but this, like, dude, like, technology's so advanced, man. Like, you're going to fight through it. You're going to beat this, like, easy. Like, look at our boy Sage. Fucking won. He's fighting cancer twice, and he's beating it, bro. Like in a positive, happy attitude, like, and it shows, bro. Like life is beautiful, and if you accept it, like, and you see it for that, like, dude, like your body will respond to that shit too, you know. But hey, I feel like this is a good time to give all the boys a shout out, all the people that couldn't make it, Madness, Bean, Adam. Who else? Who am I forgetting? Lyle, Bobby, Sage, everybody else. Who else? Sal, even Sandman, everybody, bro. Everybody. All you guys at Moval, all you guys all across the other states, man. I'm giving you guys a shout out. I'm thinking about you guys. We're thinking about you guys. We wish you guys were here with us. And you guys are here with us, you know? You guys are our boys, man. 100%, bro. And I can't wait to see all you guys, man. All the OG wonders, all the people that weren't wonders, everybody, man.
Yeah, we're gonna come visit them too. Yeah, so I mean, this is just the beginning, and hopefully, Servando, when you do get back on your feet and everything, you come join us when we go visit Bean in Utah, or when we go visit other locations, we go back to Minnesota. We should go hunting out there. I know Bobby was telling stories about just going out there and hunting and using all kinds of weapons and crossbows and yeah.
What? Bad to the bone, yeah. Hunting where?
Hunting out in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
It went wrong when we were supposed to.
Or maybe we change it up. Maybe we just go to Canada. None of us has ever been to Canada. So something we could do in Vancouver.
I can't be around weapons, bro.
So he doesn't want to catch into the case.
You know what I mean? I can't.
I like animals. So I don't know what to do. I like animals, though.
You like animals? Hey, I can't be around guns, though. You know what I mean? I got. Hold on.
So we're gonna do stuff, fishing trip, or what was the other idea that we were trying to do? We tried to do like the Northern Lights. Yeah. And we're back, so I'm not sure where we left off, but we're just going to pick it right back up. So I don't know what was the last topic. Danny, you said you remember, so...
we'll keep the mic, but what it was is, you said the Northern Lights.
Yeah, Northern Lights. I think we were talking about traveling more, being at a good place where we all have, the means and the ability to kind of, get out there and see the world. So I'm all for a guy's trip, whether it's hunting, whether it's fishing, whether it's... going to visit the Lord of the Lights because, that's one of those, wonders of the world that just looks fucking beautiful.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah, Niagara Falls, too. We could definitely do something like that. Hopefully, the guys, the boys listening out there, if you guys want to, coordinate with me, let me know. We could all kind of do it in the group chat, plan something for the following year or maybe even this year. So, what do you guys have any ideas of, where would you want to travel? Start off with you, Servando. Anywhere in the world, where would you want to go?
You know what? This might sound silly. You know where I would really want to do? Bring it back old school. Old school.
What's old school? Mexico?
No. Not Mexico, because we already TJ Rosarito, that's another story right there. But, no. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but the boys should plan a trip to somewhere like Six Flags. Where we could just run free and be young. You know what I mean?
I've never been to a theme park with none of you guys. I never experienced that.
I've been to... who did I go to the theme park with?
We went to Magic.
Yeah, we went to Magic Mountain.
Halloween Horror Nights? Not Halloween Horror Nights. Fright Night.
Fright Night. Yeah.
Magic.
And then I've been to Knott's Berry Farm, I think, with Doug. I don't know if Jermain was there, but... Did you go with us?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jermain went with us. We just to relive that youngster, go back and boom. I'm thinking I love that fucking adrenaline rush.
Oh, okay. Then we got to plan Castle Park.
Oh no. That's too small right there. No.
My thoughts on that is to probably rent it out or something. I know we were talking about having a reunion party with all the boys, and one of the ideas was to rent out one of the clubs that we all used to go to back in the days was Club Cadillac.
They closed out, right?
They did. So
yeah. So they closed that down. But yeah, that'd be cool having a reunion where we all, show up and, I remember one of the last things that before I left Moel, we were at the school by Bobby's house and Bobby told me, hey, this is the last time we're all going to sit around. This is the last time we're all going to be together. I'm trying to prove Bobby wrong, you know what I mean? We're a little bit older and we're able to do a lot more things flexible. But back to your question, where I would like to travel.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world. Honestly, I was inspired, rest in peace, Rico. I was inspired by him, because he went, the last pictures that I've seen with him, he was in Italy. He was on a boat, not even a boat, I don't know what it's called, but.
Gondola.
Yeah, a gondola, he actually lived his life and a life's cut so short,
He saw Notre Dame. He got burned down, dog.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Like that shit inspired me. I'm like, damn, this was actually doing his thing, And he was one of our older homies. Even though he wasn't a wonder, but he was one of our older homies, He looked to us like little brothers, Let us know what we were doing wrong,
Yep.
Backed us up. Of course, backed Danny Boy up, you know what I mean? But, that inspired me because just seeing him on Facebook and, I'm like, man, because he's seen the Coliseum. What is that? The Coliseum, right?
Yeah, the Coliseum.
Coliseum. And
he's been there at war and as a trip.
yeah, crazy, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't want to go out there for the war, but
I'm sorry, I meant war. I mean when he was in the military.
yeah, the military, you know, but it's cool, you know. He went on vacation like that, and it's great, you know. But that actually inspired me, you know, maybe Jamaica.
Careful, boys, fucking assassin.
What do you mean? You're going with us?
We all need to be careful.
You know what I mean? Like, no, but something like that, you know, something memorable, you know, planning a trip, even to Canada. What's up with Canada? You know, I would love to see Canada. You know what I mean?
Homeland.
Wolverine, Drake. Wait,
Drake.
Drake's from there? Yeah, Drake's from there.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or something like that, you know? Here, so where do you feel like you would want the Wonder Boy reunion, or where would you want to take a trip with the boys?
Boys trip.
Boys trip.
Japan.
Oh, anywhere in the world? I'm like, the most feasible place would be Vegas. All you motherfuckers, get your ass out here. Bean, fucking Sage, Bobby. Let's all meet up in Vegas soon. But anywhere, freaking Tokyo, bro. We're going to go to freaking Tokyo, bro. We're going to fucking... Danny Boy would love that shit. Fucking Tokyo for sure, bro. But that's crazy, man. That's inspirational, you know. Rest in peace, Jose. Seeing him travel the world, man, that's inspirational, bro. And for sure, I could totally see all of us doing that shit, you know?
I think I've always had this plan, and it's always kind of been my venture. If we ever like won the lottery, like one of us, we all had the means, and like, all right, everybody, we're all rich all of a sudden. I'd be like, fuck it, let's go to Paris. I'd love to see everyone just kind of just roll up there for a month and just be like, all right, you know, we're gonna go shopping, we're gonna go party, we're gonna go eat, we're gonna go look at all the landmarks, all the famous landmarks, all the, you know, beautiful culture there is out there with the art, the sculptures, you know, all that fun stuff. Yeah, the Mona Lisa. So, I mean,
Wait, the Mona Lisa's out there?
yeah, it's in the Louvre. So, you know, that's my inspiration, just to, like, have all of my boys out there. But realistically, like how Jermain was saying, like, yeah, you know, most likely like Vegas, where we could kind of like, that's kind of the central hub of where, you know, the United States go out there to party and have a good time, because it's a very international spot. But if we really think about it, I think Bean's the next destination, because that's Utah. I think a lot of us could go from different directions into that area. So shout out, Bean. We're probably going to go out there to go see you. So make some room and maybe pick out some Airbnb spots for us to stay. Danny boy?
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you guys for the RIP, my brother. Yes, he was a traveler in different ways and inspired in different ways as well. But yeah, he did give me some pointers of what to do when I do go. Jeezy too, he went to Europe. He kind of gave me some pointers. I got some ideas of what I want to do. You know, I'll probably do like what Jeezy did, but like a little longer trip of that, or the same one he did. Because you get tours and stuff like that, and that's the way to do it. You know, give you a little history. Don't just go and, oh, look at this. What is this? You know? Yeah. So stuff like that. And because we have to, you know, and go see a sports game, you know, like a soccer game or pelea de los toros, you know, something sick, you know, shit like that. Where would I want to go though?
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world, I'll do like Cambodia or Thailand. Yeah.
Around the bush.
Yeah. For many reasons, these fools know that of course it's the women first. You know. Yeah. It's just I love my Asians, persuasions. You know, I love them all. They're all good to go. I love my Mexican too though, but I love my Asian. You know. Anyways, for many reasons, you know, other than the women, you know, they got fucking 7 wonders of the world. You know, they got shit like that. I want to go to a fight where like kind of like Kumite style, you know. And I have a buddy at work, you know, I'm not gonna say his name, but I got a buddy at work that, you know, that he's been to fights like that. He goes to Thailand because, you know, he's married to a Thailand girl, and so he says he's been to Kumite parts, to villages, you know, where you get tatted, you know, like the old school tatted with the little sticky things. I don't know the name of it, so I can't say it, but you know, it's kind of like the Japanese style, you know, where they hammer it, you know, pretty much, but like. Places like that. I mean, imagine us seeing like some kind of world federation type of fight in, you know, in third world country. You know what I mean? That's sick to have that experience. You know, and stuff like that. You know, I think Europe would be the best. I also thought about going to fucking over there where they film Lord of the Rings. I can't think. I'm brain for right now.
Oh, New Zealand.
New Zealand. I want to do. I never jumped out of a plane, but I know they got that special one when you jump out of a plane and you land on the Shire. So it's like a little cool thing you do. You know that's where you land. And you land where they film the charge, still left there as a museum. Something crazy like that. You know what I mean?
Down with like Australia.
Yeah, for real. So we'll go and see castles in Ireland. You know, like shit like that, like sick ass shit, fool. You know, and we have one life, though. We have one life. You know, and we gotta do it. It's just it's hard times. So you gotta work for it. Everybody does. But if it's possible, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's why we all got to get some tickets. Play the Mega Millions.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
And this is probably going to be way off left field and stuff.
Go for it. That's
All right. So COVID hit what? End of 2019? 2020? Okay. Yeah. December of 2019, January 2020. So we had to stay inside, wear masks, boom, boom. So now you hear this monkeypox. What do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think it's something that the government is doing?
Well, to question or answer that question, I think it's the world just trying to fight itself off. We're the disease, and it's trying to find its ways of kind of killing us off. But that's just me. It could be the government. It could be, other countries, trying to create war in the sense, but inadvertently, indirectly, where it's like, well, I'm just going to throw out there a disease for them to get killed off.
And it's been done.
So it's possible that way, We just don't know because we don't know. All we go is just like what we hear on the news, what we hear from people's experiences. And, if you ever see the photos of the monkeypox, dude, that's no joke. And from what I'm hearing, it's like, sexually transmitted diseases.
But you get it not having sex.
Yes, you get it just skin contact.
Yeah.
But typically, that's what they're saying is like usually sexually transmitted disease. So shout out to all my single boys out there. Keep it wrapped up. I know you guys are safe anyways, no matter what. I mean, we just don't know until we hear more information. Right now, it's a kind of state of emergency, or they're putting a lot of news coverage out there.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. We're only given information that we're not supposed to know, but we're able to know. We're not giving the whole lineup. You know what I mean? There's somebody up higher that's gonna be like, okay, you guys could watch this on TV. You know what I mean? For an example, that chick just died.
What chick?
Ellen DeGeneres' ex.
Okay.
I know you guys watched the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crashed in a car.
So she crashed the car. I just seen the whole situation where I think an hour before she went to go get her red hair. That's not even tripping me out. Okay, she doesn't want people to recognize her. Cool. She was doing this documentary on. Oh man, she was doing the documentary that's gonna expose some things for the government. Okay, that ain't tripping me out. She crashed a car 100 miles per hour, hitting a house. Okay, they wrapped her up in a white cloth, which I guess you're only supposed to be wrapped up in the cloth once you're dead.
Yeah.
So the ambulance was hurrying up, trying to get her into the ambulance, and this lady pops up, boom, trying to get out. And I'm not gonna lie to you, like if you're in a bad crash, you're not gonna pop up that fast. You will not pop up that fast. And the news was already saying that she was already dead by that time. But then they said that she was okay, she was in the ICU, and then all of a sudden it took a wild left turn.
Very suspicious.
Very suspicious. And that's what I mean. We're only gonna know what we're able to know.
So you ever heard the term history is written by the victors?
I haven't.
Well, that just shows it. So the people that write tomorrow's news headlines, those are the ones that are winning the battles. These are the ones that are in power. These are the ones that are, again, just to put on my conspiracy hat. But, yeah, we just don't know. We could only see little bits and pieces like a puzzle, and we could try to make out the picture.
What do you think about that, Jermain? With the whole situation, the whole conspiracy.
Honestly, I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. I base my thoughts and actions off of facts and actual mathematical, scientific things. I go by probability. That's how I take my chances. That's how I invest. That's how I run my life. I can't think about theories. It has nothing to do with me. I see what's in front of me, and I make my decisions like that. I'm not trying to bash anybody that does believe in conspiracy theories, because I understand there is stuff like that out there. But honestly, my thoughts are about making money and focusing on my life, focusing on my friends' life, focusing on my family's life, and ways on trying to improve it, and make it better, and how to capitalize on opportunities that you see in black and white, people doing it, making money. That's what I focus on. Fuck the theories. I don't need to fucking worry about theories. I need to focus about fucking my life, my future, 10 years from now, 5 years from now. What's my plan? What's the property that I'm going to buy? What's the move that I'm going to make? That's what I think about, and that's what I focus on. And then all the other time, I just chill the fuck out and rest my mind and don't think about nothing and rest and sleep. Yeah, I do nap a lot. I'm a fucking napper, bro. Because I think a lot, man.
Sleepy this whole trip?
I have been resting a lot, and, this is my vacation too, a little vacation. So that's what I think about theories and stuff like that. But honestly, like all this fucking COVID and monkeypox and this and that, that's like Jeezy said, it's like the world itself, like managing itself, like, doing its thing, It's happened before and it will happen again.
Let me ask you a question though, Jermain. Okay. And this is going to be still on topic. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel that there's a higher authority that tells you or us as the people what we can and cannot see on TV?
Hey, whoever's in charge, whoever's got the money is going to control what's on TV. It's going to control what's in the news. I don't watch TV like that. I don't watch the news like that, but I do go like on social media. So a lot of my news and what I see is based off whatever Facebook or freaking Instagram or whatever wants to show me. So yeah, I do believe that our media is being controlled. But how you take it and how you absorb that information is what really matters. So whatever they show you, it doesn't matter if they're going to show you something that you don't want to see and you act upon it, then they're controlling you. But if they show you something you don't want to see and you don't act on it, how are they controlling you?
Danny boy, yes, I know. I see you shaking your head. What do you think about this subject?
This is still monkeypox, right? Or is this controlling? Just controlling, right? Yeah, I do believe in that, dude, but it's a system. It's the system we live in, and I always knew about the system, and, what are you going to go? How are you going to skip the system? The system is worldwide, there's like, they all have, their own system, but there's a giant system all together, and I can't say I care about it because I'm not going to get out of it. None of us are. It's just life, pretty much. La primera lives.
La Primera does live, Danny boy. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you so much. And yeah, we just don't know. There's systems upon systems that are run autonomously on their own. They're put in place. And, sometimes variables happen. Shit gets disrupted. Diseases, famine, blah, 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 wars, all that stuff that just throws a monkey wrench into shit that's already in place. All we can do as good people is do good shit. It's like, bad shit only prevails when good people don't do anything. So I want to just kind of be on the same page as everyone, and definitely just help our fellow brothers, our fellow mankind. And, let's try to solve some problems for people, because that's how we make the world better, is make it better than when we left it. So any other questions?
No questions. But you know what? I just got into my mind, and I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but how many wonders are there, or were? You know what I mean? Like okay, a lot, right? Why don't we buy an Airbnb and everybody chip in? Buy an Airbnb and everybody chip in. That way, when we all want to go on vacation, or when individual families want to go on vacation, we all have a little piece, like a, what is that called? Timeshare. But we're the timeshare. We've never thought about that. I was just thinking about that. Like, we're all making some money. You know what I mean? We're all boys. We're that. I mean, and I'm talking about everybody. Like, say we get one in Vegas. And I go to Vegas. If I want to go stay at the Airbnb, boom. Jesse, you want to go the following week, boom. We don't have to pay for that. You know what I mean? Like that should be something that we need to invest in.
I'm all for that. I'm all for like doing investments. I think a lot of the times the problems are it's just like coordination, the details. It takes a lot of like effort and energy to find, the right project, the right place, the right situation, the right circumstances. And yeah, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like you guys put in just as much effort as me, and then fuck it, let's do it. Let's find something that's a good idea. Getting a house, buying a house. I mean, we could all be on loan, and I've thought about this too, and I think we've talked about this on different nights where we've kind of talked about like just having an LLC type of thing, our corporation. All the profits go to that corporation at the end of the quarters or end of the year. We kind of just divvy it up, profit, boom, 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 boom. It's easy to break it down that way, all in thought and theory and talk, but, to actually like, all right, let's do the paperwork. Hey, let's go talk to the notary. Hey, let's go talk to the bank. Hey, let's go do this. It's like time, effort, money, blah, 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 blah. So it's great. I mean, we're drinking, we're having a good time. We're sharing all these ideas, which I'm all for it. I'm down for it. You know me. I'll put as much energy as everyone puts into it. But it's hard a lot of times where you're just like, all right, I'm going to take the reins on this. I'm going to do all the legwork. I'm going to do everything. And, and then things don't get panned out or work out or people forget.
It's team effort, dude. That's what it is. And motivate each other too on that, and so we could do it, because we do say this, we've been saying this for years, since we were in our 20s,
And we're back. Hey, how's it going, everyone? So we were talking about just ideas of ventures for projects and business plans. And so, I mean, yeah, it's all good in theory and I like it. I'm all down for anything. So anybody that has any ideas on what you guys want to do for the future, I'm all for it. Servando,
So this was one of the topics that we talked about yesterday. We're not getting credit for this. We are one of the original social medias before social medias. You know what I mean? We were one of the original. Nobody was doing it like that. You know what I mean? I mean, we had the high tech people. I'm sorry.
There were other party crews that did have other websites, but we promoted it. We did have just comment sections or what was called just
Blogs
kind of I guess I don't know. It was like posting was the wall. That was kind of like the original. What was it? Either it was Facebook or was it MySpace? One of those two. It was called the wall, or the the little it was MySpace, wasn't it? So it was something similar to that. We had like something similar to that where other websites were kind of using. So we're kind of just copying it. But yeah, it was before a MySpace or a Facebook got popular. So we had that running back in like 98, 99. So I don't know who was out there using any social media back in the days. Shout out to the older people that maybe were. But yeah, we were running it, our own website back in the days. We were, pretty much digitally designing our own flyers back in the day. So it was pretty cool. We were like innovative, That's why, I think when you run a company, you got to have like that youthful perspective on things because they're always wanting to like, I guess make their mark in the world and come with innovation. So innovation, creates creativity and opportunity. So, yeah, I'm all for it, man. So if we have anybody that has like, ideas, business ideas or anything like that, can obviously make things cheaper, faster, more efficient, I'm all for it. I'm all for listening. So, all right, sorry. Back to you.
All right. So, yeah, we were talking about that yesterday that, we were before social media and stuff and, it'd be cool. Yeah, it would have been cool. We would have kept it up. You know what I mean? That way everybody could find out boom, boom, And you're going to hear a lot of boom, boom, But on a different topic, my topic is, how about them Raiders? You know what I mean? I'm sorry for those 49ers fans. I'm sorry for the Cowboy fans. 4-0 in the preseason. Yep. But you know what? You know who else is 4-0? The Texans. Out of the blue, they came out 4-0.
I mean, teams are trying different things, so
hopefully it's all gonna be different, So I guess we're gonna go to the yard. The yard is out here in Salem. It's where they have a whole bunch of food in the trucks, and then they have a whole bunch of beer, and you get to go eat, sit down, and have some good dinner. I think they have hibachi there. They have Chinese food, Mexican food, and some sort. They got everything of everything. The yard it's in Salem. It's where all older people go. Not older, but people where they want to just relax, have a beer, and eat. So you guys need to start thinking about what you guys are gonna want. And I think we're gonna be wrapping this up, right?
Yeah, we're about hitting that hour mark. So I know Danny already went down for the count. Okay, he's still there, and he's still alive. But I think we're going to give out some closing statements, how we're going to leave this off. This is only part one. We're going to finish up part two after the wedding, after our little adventures, just mingling with everyone else at the wedding. We'll share some stories. We'll share some thoughts, perspectives, and feelings, I guess. As for me, my closing words, I'm just going to say that, hey, thank you again, Servando, for inviting us out here. It was an honor when you asked me to be a groomsman and inviting us all out here. So we got to see, the beautiful state of Oregon, which, it's just right next to California. So why not? And we're experiencing just the different culture, the local culture, the weird culture, the fucking, all the little things that we're seeing and experiencing it. And we're going to go check out right now. Yeah. Danny, any final closing thoughts for now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Servando. Thank you for the wedding. I'm sure we're gonna have a blast. A blast. And you already said after hours at your house, so the blast is gonna continue on that. And this is just another story to tell. Maybe another podcast or, afterwards. But anyways, so this ain't a goodbye, but shout outs to everybody. And shout outs to the new Vasquez family, and literally, because it's going to be a brand new one, So.
Final words. Thank you guys for coming. It's a great honor. You guys traveled all this time. And, I'm glad I've seen you guys after 17 years. I know I've seen you guys on Facebook and stuff like that, but it's different when you're actually kicking it with one another. One thing that we were able to do yesterday, we were actually able to toast for a couple shots for Beaver. I was always wanting to do that. And you guys might not understand, but Beaver was a very close brother to us, and he was taking tragic and so short. And so I've always wanted to do that. I was able to grieve on my own. I cried, and stuff like that. And I know we've had other homies, other wonders that passed away, and it's just Beaver just hit us a little bit different, Beaver was Beaver, and even though when we argued and stuff, he was still Beaver, But that was cool though. Yesterday, that was a highlight of one of the highlights that I had. I was glad I was able to do that, and I'm just glad that you guys are here, Jermain. I can't wait for your speech. You know what I mean? A lot of pressure, We're going to be having pictures up. I do have a special photo tomorrow just with the Wonders. Professional photographer. We got the videographer. So it's going to be on video. The whole 9 yards. Taqueria, everything. We got a harpist. We got a DJ. I'm saying, we didn't do it out too much, but we did get everything. A little bit of everything, And I can't wait till... It's kind of getting nervous, when you're saying I do, But I'm ready. Like I said, I'm ready for that step. I'm ready to make that next commitment. And for those out there who are actually just living with each other, not actually being married, pop the question, start planning. Because if you don't start planning, it's never gonna happen. Okay, you guys got to take the next step. But you guys do what you got to do. You guys live your own life, but. It's gonna be this adventure that I've been going through with the wedding. It's different. It's special. It makes you feel special. It makes your girl feel special when she has to go try on that dress. It makes me feel special when I have to try on that tuxedo. Even us picking a hashtag for the wedding makes it feel special. Picking out the rings.
Did we pick out a hashtag?
I think we're gonna do Vasquez I do. So simple, short, to the point. So look out for the hashtag, and then we are gonna have, like I said, pictures that day, and we are gonna have a videographer. And like I said, that's the best advice I'm gonna give one another. Because life is too short to dwell. Life is too short not to do what you got to do. And I feel like everybody should be at that point to get married. You know, I'm getting married a little bit older, but I lived my life as in I was able to do what I can or what I wanted to do, you know, and then, you know, I was able to move to the next step, you know. And yeah, like I said, if you guys don't follow me or you guys don't know me, go ahead and Facebook, Servando Vasquez. It's because a lot of people, you know, they know me, but they don't know me because
I'll tag you on the podcast.
yeah. And then Jesse is gonna be having a couple more guests coming on the podcast. I'm gonna set him up with some people. That way he has his followers that have followers. So I'm gonna try to help him blow up, you know. And yeah, Jermain, do you have anything to say?
Final thoughts. Thank you, Servando, for having us out here. This is my first time being on the podcast, and you know, you're the reason I'm on it. You know, you wanted us to be on here, and you know, I never really wanted to, you know, put nothing out like this. But final thoughts: buy Bitcoin, save your money, invest your money, buy video games, invest in Nintendo. Just fucking do what you got to do, man, and keep pushing. That's it.
All right, with that being said, we're going to close off part 1 of this Oregon trip and the Vasquez wedding, and we will come back with you after the wedding, and we'll have some more stories to share. I get a little tongue-tied, but snip, edit, cut, whatever. All right, guys, thank you very much, and we'll call this a wrap. Till the next time.